Welcome to Reckless Recap. I'm your host, Melissa Vincent Holmes, and here's Olamira to get us caught up on last week's episode.
Welcome back to Storytime with Olamira. Today's story picks back up with the unstable unicorns all back together again at last. Crystal and Tiriana have found out that Manshun is headed to Port Damali, and Crystal offers up the shocking revelation that Maviath may have a sister. After much discussion, the group decides that the best plan is to travel to Aor to search for the source of the frozen woe. They have about a week to prepare for the journey. During the wait, Kier decides to pick a fight with Maviath to help him deal with his emotions, and got her ass thoroughly handed to her.
I let him win, obviously.
Sure you did. The group also took a little side trip to meet Maviath's dad, a gold dragon named Tamarind. Wait, you idiots met a dragon and no one got eaten?
I know, shocking, isn't it?
Very. Anyway, Maviath and his dad together learned that Maviath does indeed have a sister, a twin sister, who is currently in Rexingtrum with a familiar face from Crystal's past. But no time to deal with that now. So, the group takes a quick trip home to Phandalin to check on their zoo. By the way, you dummies need to learn how to properly contain an owlbear.
Don't blame me. I didn't put him in the bedroom.
I nearly got my leg chomped off,
Your
and that's
leg
my
is
good
really
leg.
fine.
I need
You
that one.
just
I demand a
get
refund
over it.
immediately.
No, you're not getting a refund.
Fine, then I'm stealing your toenails in your sleep.
All right, well, Olamira, she's a little heartless, but that's okay. That's what we're used to for Olamira, you know. Thank you for joining us. Today, we have Ashley Putnam and Lauren Bennett, Tiriana here, you know, in case you didn't know, which you should. But thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited. It's not necessarily all the ladies of Reckless Advantage, but it is the most of them. I would say Tanya counts, right?
Yeah.
Tanya
Yeah.
watches the stream live. She's wonderful. She is also married to Brian Billerdam.
Yeah, she's the behind-the-scenes support that keeps Brian in line, so very important.
That is very important.
It's a full-time job.
Seriously.
Yep.
But so glad to have you guys today. This is very exciting. I love the all ladies, and we've got some special things to share later about some more ladies' night adventures. But I want to get straight away into it because the gang is back together.
Yes.
They had breakfast together, which is kind of really cool and almost normal. But of course, it was not normal,
Not normal at all.
But yeah, so talk to me about the reunion of all the characters. Crystal and Tiriana are back. Everybody's all together, and yeah.
It was really funny because we were in. It's been a while since we've all been at the table together. So the excitement and the energy was really over the top.
You guys over the top? Like, no.
Like more than normal over the top.
It was pretty extra.
Yeah. But but it was fun. We were excited. It was good to have everybody back at the table for sure.
And Crystal got the Kier news because you already
Yes.
knew from your one shot.
I did. Yes, I did. It's been really fun watching everyone else's reaction. Really fun.
I've loved it.
Now, I've been holding this question for a couple weeks because it really was. I was expecting you to be on last episode, but things happened and totally fine. But really, it is like, what the fuck, Lauren? Damn, girl. Let's talk about backstories. Let's talk about this bomb.
I'm so happy to finally have it out there now because, like, since session 1, like pre-stream, I have been sitting on this for over a year and a half, and I am a bad secret keeper. Like,
You're not a bad secret keeper.
But I am. I hate, like, I'm the person that can't stand, like, I have to wait until last minute to buy Christmas gifts because I want to give them to people. So, like, I hate keeping secrets. I am not the person to tell a secret to, guys, just so you know.
Good to know, but you did a pretty damn good job.
But
She had us fooled.
it was so worth it, though. Like, to see those reactions was like, it was great.
Kenny for almost 4 straight hours, because I was watching, was like he just couldn't, like the character couldn't register it, but like Kenny himself could not register it. And if you remember the last time I sat on the couch with you, I said that when certain information surfaces, it will change the framework of how Mavieth views his relationship with Kier.
Way of
And
foreshadow.
it definitely, like,
it did.
it definitely did. It was everything I hoped it would be.
I'm so glad.
It was great.
He did. He came home and he was like, babe. I'm like, I already know, but let me listen.
No, all night I could feel him giving me the stink eye. Like, not even like during game, but like during break, I'm like fixing my food and I could just feel Kenny over there like.
Well, because I gave him the hardest time because I knew very briefly before he knew, and I was like, she's your stepmom. Like, she's your cousin, she's your sister, she's your stepmom. Like, just constantly, you guys are totally related.
Oh, that's
just the whole time, just giving him the most inaccurate, but just inappropriate
Messing
information.
with him.
Yes, because that's my favorite thing in life. But I also love the fact that in your one shot, like, it was almost that bonding moment for the two of you. You had to trust somebody with this secret, somebody that you knew would have your back and that would understand why you had to have this secret.
Yep. And I knew that Tiriana, out of everybody, would be the one to be like, oh, wait, so this just makes us more the same. Like, that's cool. Like, we can just be badass together now. And that I was going to need that support, not just Kier going to need that, but Lauren was going to need that support in like, okay, when everybody else at the table is mad at me,
Right?
I need someone that's going to be like, no, guys, it's cool. Like,
Yeah, it's okay. And then also, like, not to get super serious, but that also has like deeper undercurrents just of our culture in general. A woman having to hide because a man is after her.
Yep.
Like, that is, that I think is almost a universal that unfortunately every woman has experienced, that where just some dude is being a weirdo.
Yep.
And I think that, you went to the only other woman in the group because she's probably experienced this. She will empathize with it and will feel less betrayed because as a woman, you understand you have to do what you have to do to keep yourself safe.
Yeah, I definitely, like, I feel like as women, we understand that concept. Every woman, I'd say probably every woman on some level has experienced something like that. So we understand it a little better.
But I just think it's crazy that for a year and a half, you kept this secret. You came up with this backstory, and we talked to Stephen a little bit about it, but you came up with this backstory all by yourself for your character, and you were new to D&D, like new to all of it, but you knew that you wanted to have like this deep, in-depth story.
Well, I'm new to D&D, but I've always been a reader and a writer. I love stories.
Right.
And so I knew for me to have fun with it, I needed it to be more than just two-dimensional. I needed something to be able to act it and really be the character. I needed something to know, like, okay, what is motivating her?
Right.
And that's where the backstory came in. And I love it. I had so much fun with it. I had so much fun leaving those little, like, tidbits in there throughout.
There were definitely
like,
some breadcrumbs.
Everyone was just like, oh, okay, she lost her accent for a minute. Like, whatever. Like,
We all took Kier so literally and at face value. And she always played the, like, innocent, like, and we all just felt like we have to protect Kier,
Right, she's so little.
We were so oblivious to all of it. And not that Kier couldn't hold her own, but she she was like kind of the caregiver of the group, for lack of better words. So, and we,
Yeah.
appreciated that. So it was, even for Tiriana, it didn't take me long, but there was still that moment for Ashley and for my character of like, wait a minute. You what? For how long? It's crazy.
Are there any Tiriana backstory bombs that you want to foreshadow?
There's not really.
Okay.
It's pretty simple. Like, I did disclose last night that my dad, he was like a fisherman, and anyways, long story short, it was like he killed my mom and then killed himself, and I found it, and then I sort of took off. So I've been on my own journey on my own since that moment, and like Steven said in the last episode of Recap, that Tiriana's making these people her family. And it didn't start out that way, but it's like developing that way. Like those are her people now.
Right.
So
it wasn't intentional, but they're your people.
So I don't really have any, like, anybody that
no big surprises.
Yeah, not that I know of right now.
So now I feel like every time I gotta like poke and prod. Like, any secrets? Are there any secrets? Do you want to tell us anything? Do you want to give me an exclusive? Like, sorry. But getting back to last night's session, so sorry. So breakfast, everybody finds out. Crystal has to take a moment. He goes out on the balcony, and the balcony got tense.
Yep, it did. But I expected Crystal to have a much more intense response than he actually did. Like, there were tense moments, and like I said, the vibe at the table in general was just kind of off because we were being so goofy, and then it got really serious, and so it definitely got tense for a little bit. But like, I was expecting a much more hurt response from Crystal, but because now he's all about truth and she's telling the truth, he just kind of rolled with it and was like, okay, well, I'll help you through it. And she was like, oh, you're such a good dad.
Yeah, he was surprisingly cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Good. So, showing character growth.
Yeah, so it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. And then Mavioth actually kind of sort of came to terms with it a little better. He was far less salty about it. So
okay.
So it still a little salty, but way less than it was last time.
It just takes a minute to process.
Yeah.
It just takes a little time.
Yep.
He'll get there. Aw, so sad. So breakfast, balcony, meeting in the war room. Where's the war room?
So it's in the castle, and like, it's just this room off that I think we talked about it before. There's like iron doors. And, correct me if I'm wrong here. Yeah, but it's just like very fortified so that no one can listen in or.
Okay, so you guys are having not like a secret meeting, but you're finally all back together. You've got to make some plans. What are we doing? Where are we going? Because there's a lot. Like, you guys are heavy drama right now. I love it. I love heavy drama. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, definitely.
So you've got to decide to find out that, oh yeah, so sorry. Manchun,
Yep.
big mafia guy,
Yep.
has fled to the port of Damali. I said it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then you guys also have to figure out if you're going to go after him, what you're going to do. And then there's the pursuit of Aor. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. To acquire an antidote for the frozen woe. So tell me about that vote. And you guys were actually not on the same page for probably the first time.
Yeah.
So can you recap the war room and all of that and how you're feeling and how it went?
It was, well, there wasn't really a whole lot of argument. There was some discussion about it, and it was just, we're going to bring it to a vote. And it wasn't unanimous, but I know on Tiriana's train of thought was, okay, Manchun's not a great guy. He's out,
He is not a great
involved
guy.
in attacks and this, and that people are in danger at his hands. But one, we don't know he's the only one distributing this.
That's true.
And so to Tiriana, it would feel like running in circles, chasing our tail just to, keep going after one another, him or somebody else who might be attacking with it. And so it makes the most sense in Tiriana's mind to find it at its source and find an antidote or find a way to stop the production and the distribution of it. And that just seems like a more like long-term
treat the cause, not the symptoms.
Yeah. And so that's where Tiriana's mind was at on it.
Yeah. I feel like we all were it was a tough decision. Like there was, it's one of those, like there is no perfect decision in this. Like either way you go, it's kind of the wrong choice.
Oh, like real life.
Yes. Yeah. Because, if we go to this place, to Aor, to try and track down the source, then we're basically saying, okay, well, these people that are going to get hurt by this current, supply, they're just collateral, that we're just letting it happen at this point. And so that's hard, but do we focus on, like she was saying, do we chase that? And, yes, we might save those people, but we might also end up with thousands more hurt in the long run. So you have to look at the bigger picture, but it's hard to do because it doesn't feel like a good choice.
Well, no, but you're not responsible for the people that get hurt.
Yeah, but
because you're not causing the hurt.
Yeah, but it definitely was a very tough decision, I think, for all of us to decide what the best course of action was, because it was actually, the vote was 5-4.
Yeah.
Like it was one vote difference of which way we were going. So, and for me personally, it's one of those moments where it was just kind of hard to stay in character because Lauren, know what's in Aor, and Lauren was like, no, I don't want to.
Oh no. What's in Aor for Lauren?
Scary things. It's well, and also I'm a magic user, and in Aor magic is weird and like doesn't necessarily work. So like I feel like those of us that are very like heavy magic users were kind of like, maybe not.
Because we know that Steve is 100% gonna dick with you.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna make you short circuit if there is an opportunity. He's nodding, by the way, off camera. But hang on, I want to go back just 1 second because I'm having trouble with math. Because you said it was 5-4, which means 9.
We because
there's 7 of you, right?
Lord Silverhand was one of the votes. Aramis voted, and then we brought in Krath, who is like the head of the Cobalt Soul in the area.
Okay.
And so to make it a odd number so we wouldn't end up with a tie.
But Stephen got 3 votes because those are all NPCs.
Yes.
I feel like, like I thought the drama was like at an 8 or a 9, so it's about to go to like 11.
Yeah.
Because Stephen really wants you guys to go to Aor, and he is going to make some stuff happen.
Yeah.
So really excited for the next couple of sessions. Oh, goodness.
Yep.
That is both exciting and terrifying. Are you guys feeling the same?
Oh, yes. And as
there will be alcohol in my cup.
right? Mojito night.
Yeah.
As his wife, I could feel it. I was like, he is pushing us in this direction. And that was just one other reason why I was like, nope, not voting that way.
No. Oh no, I am very nervous. That's so, you know that he does stuff on purpose. And you guys love it though, right?
Yes.
You love, like, hate to love it, love to hate it kind of thing.
Yeah, because it's the story, and we know it's going to get worse before it gets better. And because we've already been told we're nowhere near the end of this story. So like,
oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so like, we're going to go, this is not going to be the solution. It may be a hint to the solution, or we may find the path to a solution, but it's not going to be the thing that solves it, I don't think.
Okay.
He might surprise me just because I've said that, but.
So we are not, as far as you know, nearing the end of this campaign.
Not from what he has told me.
I'm like nervously watching Stephen's face. Like, yeah, Stephen.
We've talked about it before that he anticipates us getting to at least level 14, 15 character wise. And we are currently about to be at level 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're a little over halfway there.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we still have a good bit of story to get through, and we have a lot of personal issues that still need to be worked through.
Right? These characters have some things to do.
Yeah, so hoping at some point we'll get some downtime to like deal with that.
But right now you're just adventuring your asses off.
Yeah.
Saving the world, accidentally.
Oh, stumbling through it real hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you got in a little fight.
Yep.
Got in a little fight. So
Yeah.
Kieran Mabieth
Yeah.
still working out some things.
Yeah.
And got into fisticuffs.
Yep. Well, in when Ashton left and Kier was really upset and having a really hard time working through it, Mavieth kind of pulled her aside and was like, "Hey, this is how I deal with things," and got in a bar fight.
Yes.
So-
the Goliath way.
She now is seeing him having a hard time dealing with some things. So she's like, "All right, let's fight." This
Using his logic, against him a little.
This is how you deal with this. Let's do it. So she like found a place in the guard barracks and like cleared out a space and was like, "Okay." And he kicked my ass.
Were there like, was there an audience?
Oh yeah, all the guards were watching. It was
I don't feel like that's a fair fight because maybe it is large and
Yes,
here is
but-
not.
But I was using magic. So
Okay.
it was pretty fair. I was just rolling like crap. I rolled 4s like
Oh.
almost at least 3 or 4 times in a row. I rolled a 4 every single time. And he's over there rolling like 14, 18 with the dice that I made him, I would like to point out.
They betrayed you.
Yes.
Are your dice in trouble? Are they in the bag
Yes.
of like to get cleansed?
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
It is, yeah, it's a full moon currently, so I will be cleansing my dice
Is
tonight.
that what was wrong with us?
Maybe.
Look, that's written down.
was
Was
so
it the moon?
weird.
That's one of my questions. Tonight is a lunar eclipse.
Yep.
Really excited. Like the red moon.
Yes.
I think the moon had something to do
Yeah.
with those dice. Get them out. Get them cleansed.
We're gonna go with that because it was a rough night.
So you got your ass kicked.
Yep.
I'm, like keeping a secret like that for a long time.
Yeah.
I feel like that probably helped.
Yep, and
That you took some,
yeah, and that's what I said afterwards. I feel like it was appropriate that because it wouldn't. I don't think it would have been as cathartic for him
Right.
if she'd kicked his ass. Like
Right.
then
Oh,
I
no,
feel
you
like it would
couldn't
just
win.
yeah, it would have been bad. So I feel like it worked out the best. And he lost a toe in the process, and she put it back on for him. So it's all
yay.
good.
Just a little one though, not like the big
Yeah,
one.
no,
Okay.
it was fine.
Oh, man.
And then I do remember that the two of you took Mabius bombs to protect him from himself.
Yes.
Yes.
But then last night, Billardam, who is not quite at Mabius level, but can be convinced to go there, bought some bombs.
Yes.
Why is that happening? I love that you both just sigh. Like,
So Tiriana didn't stop him because considering where we're going, those could be really beneficial to have.
okay.
So it's not terrible that we have the bombs. We just have to be really careful about the way in which they're used.
So letting those two be alone together?
It's
This is
not
a
a good
terrible
plan.
plan.
No,
And
but
maybe it still doesn't know we have his bombs.
Yeah.
I know.
yeah, it's gonna be great. He's gonna
Sorry.
be so mad.
Sorry, I'll tell him not to watch.
We're gonna have a whole other like angry moment when we get there. 'Cause
I know.
he's
I feel
gonna
like
be so
Steve's gonna
mad.
make him need them very soon so
Oh,
that he
yeah.
can be real mad.
Oh,
And Kenny
oh,
Holmes
yeah.
is gonna be real mad.
I know.
Just so y'all know.
I know.
Like his butt is gonna be hurting. Just so you were aware. Like maybe he's gonna be mad, but on the inside, Kenny might just when you do that, Steven, just know he might need a minute. He is gonna be het up when he finds that out. I'm gonna watch that night.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I tried to get him to dig through the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Very
no.
first thing, I was like, "You've got a potion. You should dig for it."
Oh.
I think he forgets about things sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
it won't be
happens.
until he needs it.
Right.
That he's like, oh, I'm going to pull out this bomb and it's not going to be
But
there.
at least, he can be like, here, can I have my... Oh, that's going to make him real mad.
Yeah.
So, okay.
No, what's going to be funny is he's going to be like, I need a bomb. And I'm going to be like, here.
That feels accurate. That feels accurate.
Where did you get bombs? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's not
Just
the
don't worry
important
about
part.
it.
It worked. And then Reed is learning to be an artificer.
Mm-hmm.
I said it right.
Yeah.
What's an artificer? Number one.
So it's like someone that, like a mechanical builder kind of. I don't know how to. I'm not properly explaining this.
Like
but
an engineer?
Kind of, but like also with magical type weapons and such. So basically, he's learning to turn his little mechanical arm into something that's a little more powerful and can do cooler stuff than just a, regular arm can.
Okay. So a little bit of like, I'm going to age myself, a little Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
Like a little Will Smith,
Yeah.
Kevin Klein, which I don't remember which Kevin. Kevin Klein, thank you,
Yeah.
Stephen. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like that's an interesting take.
Yeah. So, and it's interesting for his character because up to this point he's been very anti-magic. So this is a big, like he actually said in the stream, like, I want to be the kind of magic that's used for good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big step for his character to even be able to work with magic at all. Of course, being around us, he kind of has to get used
Right?
to it
I
at a
know.
certain point.
But
He's seeing the value.
Yeah.
yeah, but there is that fine line where like good magic,
Mhm.
but then you use good magic for bad reasons. Then you cross that line, you're using whatever magic for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's
All
going to
the
be
drama.
interesting. All the drama.
And then let's talk about the moment that I think got very emotional for a lot of folks was when Maviath and the crew, they meet Maviath's father, who is Tamarin, the Lord of Justice, King of Dragons. So that's a big reveal because Maviath has been trying to find his father.
Yes.
And you guys are all with him when like that moment of they're in a room together.
Mm-hmm.
How did that go? God, more sighs. It was a very dramatic night.
Oh, man. It was... None of us were prepared, like, at all for that. But...
Steven sprung another one on us.
Yeah, well, I think Kenny and Steven kind of sprung it on each other because I don't think that Steven was prepared to do that in last week's session. And we all kind of knew it was coming eventually, but yeah, I don't think that Steven was prepared to do it like this session. And I don't think Kenny was at all prepared for what he was getting into.
No.
And it got really emotional.
Yeah.
And it does sometimes, it's hard because you don't realize that you put so much of yourself into these characters that sometimes it just hits a little too close.
Right.
And but that's when we have the safety net in place and we, can take the breaks and can regroup and come back in and continue. And it was so emotional. Like,
I don't know if I can watch it. I need to.
it was so good though. Like it was
really
great
good.
storytelling, and like Kenny did a great job with like acting all that out, and it was
pretty
really good. It was a good moment. Definitely worth watching.
Yeah.
And Steven had to put the low blow about the dog in there, and
He's never going to live down that dog. Bless him.
and it hurts every time.
Yeah,
it
it
gets
still
brought up. It
hurts.
still hurts.
Ugh.
Go there.
Because Ashley, I know you're not stoic per se, but you're a little like more reserved. And so even the emotion of it like affected you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think Tiriana had to keep her guard up for a long time just out of survival, and so part of her looking at this crew like family has almost forced her hand, like she is feeling feelings.
She's
before
feeling
she
all the
realizes
feels.
it. And it's weird for her. And then, for myself, some of my favorite moments are when it gets emotional because like I was just talking to an old friend who's known me for a long time. And but we haven't talked for a while, and she was like, what is this D&D thing you're doing that I see on
I
your
love the
social
face
media?
that you're making, because
And
I get that
so,
face a lot too.
I'm like, okay. And so I immediately am like, look, I know it's nerdy, but it's so much fun. And so I'm trying to like explain like how someone who wouldn't have had anything to do with this like fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And how you really get to connect to the story. It's no different than if you were in drama in high school and you got attached to a character you played. Like, it's the same kind of attachment forms to your character. And so when it does sometimes hit close to home and there is real emotion, I feel like it does so much for the storytelling. And it gives viewers it makes it more, it makes
The
it more
feels.
than just, like
Yeah.
fireball and lightning
Action,
damage.
adventure,
and,
fun, and emotions.
It pulls them in too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And because everybody can relate to that kind of stuff too, to an extent.
Yes.
So
I think that's really cool. And then finally, after all the things and all of the emotions, you guys return to Phandalin.
Yes, I was so excited.
So leaving the castle.
Yep.
yeah, we
Leaving
had to see our
Waterdeep.
zoo, man.
Yep.
Your zoo.
Yeah, it's booming too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited. I'm glad that, I have mixed feelings about Toblin going ahead and getting the owlbear out of Ashton's room because, like, it's kind of good that he got it out of there, but I really kind of wanted to see Reed try to deal with the
Yeah, that
owlbear.
would have been
that
funny.
would've been fun.
It would have been funny, but yeah, it's like a whole thing now. It's like it's a legit zoo at this point.
So excited. I'm excited to see it. That'll be a fun, lighthearted moment in between all the drama.
It definitely was.
Yep. And I think as a group, we definitely needed to like go home and kind of regroup. We've had a lot of like crazy stuff happen, and I feel like being back in what we all see as home is definitely going to help us kind of recenter before we go on this big scary mission.
Yeah.
At least I hope it is.
Steven's definitely going to make it scary.
Yep.
But for real though, so last night we were talking, before, like it was just a weird night.
Yeah.
Like it was like a little roller coaster, which I
yeah.
know that we've had roller coasters before, but like what happened? Was it the moon? Like what?
I think we were also excited to be back at the table together and have everybody there. So we just, right off the bat, were like goofy.
Yeah.
Like we were just in a goofy mood, messing with each other. And then going into the serious storyline and
Making
feeling
hard
feelings.
choices.
It's weird to go from like really excited and in a goofy mood to
Yeah, like it was like a plummet because we were like up here,
okay.
and all of a sudden we were just like, woof.
and I don't know, it just made it weird.
Yeah, it did. It really
just made it
did.
kind of weird.
But I think it's so smart. So you talked about like not your filter, but several streams ago, and some of you may have noticed, there are green, yellow, and red pieces of paper, little cards on the table.
Yep.
So talk to me about their purpose and about what happened last night, because a couple of them got used.
Yeah, so they are just a way for us to easily indicate to each other, like if we need a break or if something's getting a little intense, or just like a, hey, are you actually mad at me?
Right, are
like,
you acting
like,
or are you
like is
really-
character mad or is like person mad?
Right.
'Cause- And so like the green card is a, hey, I'm all good. Like everything's good. Or like if we kind of flash that green card at someone like, hey, are you mad at, like that's the,
Okay,
are you
are you
okay?
okay?
And yellow is like a, hey, slow down. Like that's a little too much for me. Like I'm feeling uncomfortable. It's just to let everyone know that I'm kind of having a moment. Like, and then a red is a hard stop. Like if you need a break or for whatever reason, it doesn't necessarily mean that something bad has happened, or like if you just really need to go to the restroom.
We're like, gotta have a bio break.
Yeah,
Okay.
like whatever you need, a red card stops the game immediately.
Okay.
So I actually used 2 of the cards last session. A yellow just because we had an incident where I felt kind of like, I don't know, and I was just kind of processing.
Okay.
And so I just kind of flashed the yellow at Steven to let him know, like, hey, kind of don't focus on me right now because I need a minute to
just gather yourself, be
recenter
ready.
here. And then the red card, because Tate had actually backed up from the table and I was noticing that we wouldn't be able to hear him in the mics. And so, like I said, it's not always like, oh, something intense has happened and we need a break. Like sometimes it's just a way to communicate that
A technical
yeah,
issue.
like there's a technical issue and I got to deal with it.
But for real, though, sometimes, let's be honest, men's egos, we're women, we can talk about this. Sometimes you guys have to check on Kenny and Tate, maybe I think Crystal.
They get very intense.
Yes, because they're like, okay, are you playing or are you getting real? Because they ride that line a little bit.
Yep.
They do that in play and then in real life.
Yes.
Like when
Yes.
we're
It's hard to
together,
tell.
not streaming, sometimes I'm like,
Are you guys
should I be concerned?
Yeah.
Or are you
is
just being
this a joke?
dudes slinging insults at each other because that's how dudes bond? Or
Yes.
like, are you guys about to tussle?
Yeah, and sometimes it's really hard to tell. and I like, and there again, it's personality differences too, because I know me and Ashley both are like fix it kind of people.
Yep.
And so whenever that scenario starts happening, you can see us kind of like, are we good? Like, how do I diffuse the situation? And most of the time, it doesn't need diffusing because they're just playing.
Yeah.
But it is hard to tell sometimes.
Which is why you have the cards, and I think
Yep.
that's a great idea. It's not super interruptive, but you're able to check on each other and then be able to say like, I need a second.
Yeah.
I've got to gather myself because you're the women in the group. You kind of are referees. Sometimes I know DM Steve is a great referee.
Yeah.
But on the more subtle emotional intelligence type things, you guys referee a good bit. Like, how do you handle like your character and your lives and everything? And then you come in and you're kind of managing 5 very different personalities, with the guys in the room. More size. This episode's going to be called The
I
Size.
don't really feel like I have to manage it.
Yeah.
I keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
And then if something
It's more like monitoring.
Monitoring is a better word. Okay.
Yeah.
But really, Steven has the hardest job when it comes to managing differences in personalities and the way we all individually see things. And if that can get intense with him being the DM, a lot of time he's the one that has to navigate that in a way that everyone is okay, which puts a lot of pressure on him, really.
Yeah.
That to me, that role he plays as a DM and having to manage that is probably got to be one of the hardest things of all of this.
Yeah, for sure. Because
And you do a great job, by the way.
we do. But we as characters have the option to kind of like just back out. Like if you're uncomfortable with the situation or you feel like things are getting too intense, we can just kind of be like, okay, I need a minute. Or, if we as people are just feeling uncomfortable, we can stand up and leave the table if we need to. He doesn't have that option. He has to stay and work it out, and he's great at that. Like he really is. But yeah, it's definitely tricky at times.
And so all the TikToks that I've watched, all the research that I do for D&D and about it, like it's a lot of men. So how does it feel to kind of, not necessarily pioneers, there are plenty of women in D&D, but you are outnumbered. I mean, there's 7 of you at the table, 2 of you are female, 5 are not. How does that feel coming into play? Like, does it feel cool and awesome that you're leading this charge? Is it a little scary?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I enjoy it. And I feel like the group that we're with too is great. Like we're not in a situation where because we're women, they're acting weird towards us or we feel unwelcome. And I know a lot of people have to deal with that, trying to find a game where you're accepted as a woman. Like it is a struggle in the community a lot of times. But for us, we've never had that issue. So I feel like we just get to have fun with it. Like it's just a fun dynamic to have, I think.
It is. And one thing I like too is I think that, and we talked about this some with the all ladies thing and commitment issues, just me and Tate talking. I think y'all talked about it some too, but we're not put in a place to where, unless we make a choice in that direction ourselves, that is, well, you're going to do this because you're the woman in the group.
Right.
Like we have just as much opportunity to be badass warriors and you know, and there's no less of opportunity for, you know, us to do something great.
Yeah. I think
as our characters.
Yeah.
And so, you know.
Yeah, we're not treated any differently because we're the women of the group.
exactly. Like you're truly equals. You have just as much say as everyone else. And sometimes that is rare. Like you mentioned, like other people have to deal with those things in their games.
Yep.
And I think you guys are great examples of everyone's on the same level. Everyone is equal. Everyone has an opportunity to count just as much and to be as badass as you want.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about D&D is that it really should be open to anyone that wants to play it because there's so many options. Like you can do so many things or be anyone you want to be, and it's really fun. It's a great creative outlet, and I hope that we'll see more diversity as it continues to grow.
Right. Because it's almost genderless. Like it doesn't matter that you're a woman or a man or whatever other gender that you, you know, identify with. It's you're a character and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It is the only limitation is your imagination.
Yep.
So I think that's really cool. I love that
fun.
a lot. So sorry. You guys are all back together, all at the table. Yeah. Very exciting. Like life happens. So tell me about your lives lately. Like, how is it impacting your play? Like, it's heavy drama, but I think there's been some heavy drama in your lives as well. Yeah. So is it still that release? Is it still that getaway fantasy that we have chased and it's always kind of been? Or is the heavy drama causing you more drama? Are you able to separate?
So, okay, for me, I find that I definitely still very much look forward to D&D night. Like, even when we're having, like, heavy drama in the game, I still look for it because I'm still with my friends. I'm still getting a chance to, like, not deal with my drama. Like it's, you know, it's fake drama. It's okay. So it's still an escape. There are times like last night when we are on such a high and we're in such a silly mood that it is kind of hard to like go, okay, wait, I'm supposed to be like serious acting. Like you have one of those I am a professional moments where you have to like kind of rein it in. But I think for me overall, it's still a relief.
Yeah. I feel the same way too.
So and I know your outlet, still having a great time.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's if there wasn't this, then it would be like, I don't know.
I'd be a basket case.
I would have no positive distractions. So it's a very healthy coping mechanism.
Yes,
I feel like.
I agree. You get to work out a lot of stuff too. Yeah. Like if you've been feeling like really stressed or really angry, like we say a lot, it's therapeutic, not therapy.
Right.
So like it's not going to completely solve your issues, but like if you had a tough week and you're just feeling angry and you want to kick some ass, like you can go find a fight in the D&D world and do that. And so it is very therapeutic in that sense.
Working it out with your fists. Pretend though, not in real life.
No.
Violence is never the answer unless you're in D&D.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that is still true for Kenny. So even though he had like a hard night as maybe it, and it brought up some issues that he has, and it's his story to tell, so we'll get him back on the couch. Yeah. However, we will not let him hold his own mic. that's his story to tell, and I have lots of questions for him for that because it did get very, very real. But I love that it's still your outlet.
Yeah.
It's still something that reduces that stress level and gives you that getaway from, real life. You can jump into the other drama.
Well, and I think too, when you're in those moments and something strikes a chord and you become vulnerable in real life as yourself, we're still among our support group.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something you wouldn't have necessarily shared at a party or something, but it came out here, and now we know how to better support you as a support system.
Right.
It's true.
So, I think that's cool. Like, I think that's like nobody goes into D&D for that, but I think it's a really cool, thing that happens naturally with our group.
I hadn't thought of that, but you're right. Like it deepens that bond that we all have and builds the even more trust. Like when you have those vulnerable moments and you realize like, oh, okay, everybody's really cool and like, thanks for supporting me through that, guys.
Yeah.
Like, and it helps. It actually, I hadn't really thought of that.
It makes my heart happy.
Yeah.
So Kenny, I will be very honest because I think mental health is very important. Kenny and I have been in like for real therapy for years, like just to check in, make sure that we're good. And those are your under the floor issues. That's what our wonderful therapist calls them. Like the things that you just don't talk about with people, but that are there and they color how you see everything. And those under the floor issues are not something that you talk about, but when they come up and you act a certain way and you can't articulate, like, this is why this affects me and triggers me this way. And I think you guys deal with those very, very beautifully. And the fact that you bring them up and you work through them. And then after the session, or you take a pause and you get that deeper understanding of your under the floor issues, I think it deepens your friendship.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we all are very sympathetic to each other's sensitive issues like that because we all have them. We've all dealt with our own share of trauma, honestly. And so we know what it's like to have that pop up unexpectedly and have to deal with it. So
Like it punches you in the feels.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think that helps us as a group to compassionately deal with that.
And not bite each other's heads off.
Yeah. We do that sometimes too.
But that's okay. It's a safe space to do that.
Yeah.
You know that you'll be forgiven.
Yeah.
On that, positive note, just want to flip over to Steven's DM's top 5
excited.
moments of last week. So number 1, we go from a Goliath rug to a Goliath curtain. I don't have words.
I'm so excited that this has become an ongoing joke. Because the Goliath rug we've talked about on here before, but it was pre-streaming.
Yes.
But it was just, and there again, because it was such a goofy mood last night, but it was just the image of this giant Goliath just hanging on a door, pretending to be a curtain, just tickles me so much.
And that Steven lets him roll for this. Like, if you can think of this weird ass thing to do and roll high enough, okay.
Yep.
So a Goliath curtain on a door. Who puts a curtain on a door? Number 1, Kenny has not decorated our home. Number 2, what? Just weirdo, random. Like, what are you thinking when he says that?
Oh, man, I'm not even shocked. Like, it's just, I wasn't thinking anything. I was like, yeah, be a curtain, bro. Like, yes,
And
right on track.
This giant, manly Goliath thing is nosy as hell. There was no reason for him to be there other than he was just being nosy. But it worked. And now we have a Goliath curtain to go with our Goliath rug.
Yep. It was a wonderful moment. I love it. I love that he was successful in it. So, like, not only is he doing this ridiculous thing, but somehow it's working.
Next up, I don't want to say this one, but it was a poop check. I don't know if I want to ask this question. What was the poop check? And why did Steve love it so much?
Because You know how when you get a bunch of little boys together, they think that all things gross are just hilarious.
I mean, farts are always funny, but yeah.
Yeah, same energy.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. But who had to check for poop?
I don't even.
I'm trying to, Stephen, you may have to help us out on this one.
Of course it was Kenny. It was, of course, maybe.
What did it take his daily constitution?
Oh yes,
Oh, yeah.
his morning constitution. as
That's
he
a real
called
thing.
it.
Art
Yeah.
imitates life.
Yeah, so he had to roll a poop check.
He had to-
And this is a recurring thing, like not that specific scenario, but we have had quite a few like poop checks. So like if anything scary happens or like
Checking bridges.
yeah. So we've had group roll poop checks.
Poop checks.
Before. So
Poop checks.
yeah.
So yeah, fun fact, and Kenny's gonna be, I'm not gonna let him watch this one. Like when Kenny has to go, it is immediate. There is no like, oh, I'm gonna have to go in a minute. It is, I'm going. Like in the middle of everything too. So was that like he had to put up a red to start like I need to do a poop check and I really need to go because that happens. Like your poor bathroom. Not just from him too, but your poor
Yeah.
bathroom sometimes.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so fun fact about our house. We do have 3 toilets, thank God. Next up on the DM's top 5 is the cone of silence. Who got the cone of silence? Where was the cone of silence?
Billerdam got the code of silence.
I can see that. What's he doing?
He was being Billerdam.
Oh my God, he stresses Tiriana out so bad. Like literally the last like 6 sessions, Tiriana at one point or another is going, shh,
You need to get
not right now.
you gotta get Lord Silverhand to teach you that cone of
Yeah,
silence.
I need
thing.
that for real.
So-
That's
Oh, actually, hey, I have that spell. I just need to start equipping it.
yes.
Yeah, you got to start using that. So
Man.
Lord Silverhand used the cone of silence on Billerdam.
Yes, he was oversharing as they were walking to breakfast, I believe, because he'd been guarding her door overnight. And so he was
Just talking 90 to nothing.
yeah.
Like to me, that whole scene or part of the game felt like when I wake up in the morning and I'm just trying to drink my coffee and my 8-year-old won't stop talking incessantly. Like that's what I
same
felt
energy.
like that was the same kind of thing. Like just shh. If I had a code of silence for that, man.
But the best part was that Billerdam didn't realize that she did it.
Yeah.
So he was still just
La, 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 la.
going
talking
on.
away.
So about the time that Tiriana and Crystal walked up, she dropped it. And he said something about how that's how he got his clothes back.
Oh,
or,
I
don't know. So I have no idea what story was happening. But
Oh, goodness. Next up, we have Kira and Mavieth fight. She got her ass kicked.
yeah,
Much needed.
Yes.
So after it was over, everybody's
Yeah.
cool,
yeah, it was
cathartic.
a good moment. And it's fun because I feel like, you know, in the very start of the campaign, Kier and Mavieth instantly clicked. Like they were besties, like immediately.
So cute.
And then when Chaos died, it kind of had a rift. And so I feel like ever since they've just not been on the same page. It's been awkward. And they're still friends, but they just didn't have that same closeness. And I feel like that fight really kind of just brought them back to that original friendship. Like, we're same, you and I. Like,
Yeah, we're good
like,
now.
we're good. So, and, you know, she was upset with him about Chaos. And now he's upset with her about lying. And I feel like they've just kind of come to this agreement of like, all right, we both did shitty things, but we're good. Like, let's move on.
Killing the dog is still worse.
It still hurts my heart.
Yeah. But I mean, they're back at square one, which is actually a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. So I just feel like it was the moment that they needed to get over it. And like,
Get over
yeah, like, well, and what's funny is like she was doing it for Mavieth because that's how he said he copes with things. but that's actually kind of how Kier copes with things too.
Like, it was helpful.
So it worked.
I mean, I'm sure she got some good shots in though, right?
Oh yeah, like she had the one hit that she did get in was a 3rd level inflict wounds that did 27, 24.
Damage.
It was a lot of damage.
32 damage.
Yeah, it was
That's a lot. That's pretty intense.
big
for Kier.
hit. Yeah, so
I guess it kind of showed everybody that she can hold her own too. I mean, yeah, you know, he kicked her ass, but she kind of let him.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
those dice did not work for you.
the dice let him.
Right. And then finally, Lord of Justice, King of Dragons. Because you guys have been with Mavius through this whole journey, wanting to find his dad. That's a theme that has come up multiple times. And finally, for it to be that moment and that unexpected moment.
Oh yeah.
Like, what was your, I don't have a question for this. I don't know what to say.
Oh man, we were all just like, I think both in character and as players, we were all just kind of like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like sitting on the sidelines eating popcorn. Like
That Jon Stewart meme or
Yes.
just. Because that had to be like just uncomfortable to sit there and watch.
Well, and there's this added element of like this guy, yes, it's his dad, and that's an intense moment of like, oh man, our friend is finally like getting to meet his dad. But also let's back up and remember that his dad is a really ridiculously powerful gold dragon that could kill us all like that. And so we were all very like, okay, don't let Billerdam talk. Like, no one say anything. No one steal anything. Just like, hold what you got, please.
And you know that's not the last time we're going to see him.
Oh, no. No.
So you like that's a big scary, right? That's another big scary that you're meeting and you know is going to come back into play because Steven is a little bit of a turd.
Well, also because in that same kind of thing, we got to learn that, I mean, we learned at the beginning of the episode that it was possible that Mavieth had a sister.
Right.
And then when he gets to meet his dad, together they find out that not only does he have a sister, he has a twin sister. And
Who is not Kier.
no, who is not Kier.
Sorry.
But, and we find out that he's now like the Prince of Justice. Like,
Who would have thought Mavieth would be wrong?
Well,
Yeah.
and that's where Tyriana's like,
like he just got a medal.
What?
Like, he's
Really?
the Prince of Justice. And like 3 episodes ago, you were having to bail him out of jail.
yeah, mine, like my brain
That's
is melted.
true.
I don't understand what's happening.
Like, who would have thought? That kind of, like, really, that guy? Like, of all the guys, that guy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we all get little pins, and
Yeah.
maybe it gets a medal.
The medal. He gets a medal, gets to be a prince. The rest of you guys are just dog food.
Yeah.
So it's fine. It's all good. It's good.
Yep.
So I wanted to say thank you, Stephen, for your top 5. I want to talk a little bit about the next time that the 3 of us will be together.
Yes.
So, as you all know, I am not a D&D player.
Yet.
That was so fast. That was so fast.
I love it.
But Tate has this wonderful, Tate and Gavin have this wonderful new series coming out called Commitment Issues, where they will be DMing basically one-shots, guest stars, lots of, the original cast coming into play. So it's very exciting. It's almost like a different stretch. But he's creating these characters for these one-shots, and that we are going to be playing. We are going to have a ladies' night, so girls only. Yes.
I'm
gonna
so
be
excited.
awesome.
And I am so excited for it because I am not a player. I'm so nervous. Like, I am hella nervous. Like, I'm going to screw this up or be really bad at it. But that's fine because you guys will be there to help
It's
me.
gonna be so much fun. I don't know
You'll love
that
it.
Tate has fully appreciated what he has gotten himself into
No.
with this.
Steve, you probably need to give him some kind of a pep talk or something. But
Like,
it's
I'm going to
be,
make it. Yeah.
like, it's gonna be crazy, but it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we gonna be the first episode recorded? Like, is it?
I don't know what order.
Oh,
We don't have
I
those
feel so
details
bad
yet.
for
But
him
it's
if
gonna
we're
be
like
fun.
the
Right, I don't want to be
straight
his
out
first
the
because we
gate.
might ruin him. Because we're very headstrong, powerful, and
Yeah.
hold up, buddy kind of women.
But I'm
gonna be
excited
fun.
to watch you fall in love with it.
Yes, I already am
I
in
have
love
no
with it
doubts.
from afar.
Yeah.
I just the time commitment. Like you guys are so cool about this. You do your time every other week or every week, and it like doing time like it's a hardship or something. And I think it's so cool. But I do like. So last Saturday night while Kenny was here, like I watched Our Father, the new documentary on Netflix, and it messed up my head. But that's like my true crime and my
Yeah.
romance
Yeah.
novel and
Yeah.
like my rom-com. Like that's what I get to do. So I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm going to give that up, but I would love to play with you guys.
But see, that's the great part of commitment
Yeah.
issues is that
Yeah.
it's commitment issues. Like if you don't want to,
It's perfect
Yeah,
for
like,
me.
yeah.
I do have commitment issues. Like just one time, I'll do it. It's fine. I'll do it occasionally. And then I would be remiss if we didn't talk about Patreon. And it's the cutest thing. We got a new Patreon at our highest tier. It's Kenny's dad.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lance Holmes. We
Yes.
appreciate you.
I have sent out the rewards for this month. So those should be getting to our Patreon subscribers
Can
soon.
we talk about what they are?
Yeah. So for the $10 tier is a sticker, and we do a different sticker each month. This month is the holographic Mini Mayhem sticker,
That's a cool
which I
sticker.
love.
And you've seen that Kenny has one of those.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. And I've shown it on the stream.
Yep.
So if you're interested in seeing that, it's on not last episode, but I think episode 14 is the one that we showed that on. But and then for our $20 tier, which is the highest tier, you get the sticker and a pin. So it's an acrylic pin. This one is the Reckless Advantage shield logo.
Ooh.
So it's very colorful. It's cool. We're excited about it. And then there's some other, benefits. You get the one shots that are kind of behind the scenes looks. The latest one being the Crystal and Tiriana one shot where they went and searched for Manchun.
I'm looking forward to seeing that because
Yep.
I have to subscribe so I can get all the behind the scenes stuff and the stickers and the pins and not tell Kenny.
Yeah, and we have a plan for some more bonus content. We're going to do a truth or dare with the DM kind of scenario.
Oh yeah, I have a note. Like, what was that called again? It's got the cutest name.
It was
Nobody has it.
Zone of Truth.
Zone of Truth or
Truth or Dare. Yep.
I
And
might actually crash that one. That one sounds really
yeah,
fun.
you should. We should all do it. It's going to be really fun. But that'll be for Patreon subscribers only. And we're hoping to get more of that kind of content up for our Patreon subscribers.
Who we appreciate tremendously.
Yes. And they also get access to exclusive merch designs. They get a merch discount code. So, yeah, it's really cool. There's a lot of perks. And we, of course, greatly appreciate
Oh, yeah.
all of the support that the Patreon subscribers give us. So we're trying to make sure that they're getting their money's worth out
Yes.
of that.
Because not to steal from PBS, but content is produced.
Yes.
What is their thing? I can't remember it. I'm so sorry. Thanks to viewers like you.
Yes.
Yes.
That is it.
Like, we're able to
Yep.
continue to, there's something, I can't quote it, I'm so sorry. But we are able to do the things that we do, talking about equipment and going to trade shows and all the cool stuff that we do get to do is only because of your support. So we're so
we
grateful
get
for
to
you.
get new mic stands so that Kenny doesn't have to hold his own mic anymore.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make that face. I realized it. I was like, oh man, this is why I turn my camera off during meetings. Whole face says it. Ashley,
Yes.
would you like to take us out?
If I can remember. Look, right here.
We're
It's
bad
right
at
here.
quotes
You can-
today.
Okay. So,
Okay.
thanks for watching and take care of yourselves. Take care of the masses.
Bye. See you next time.